Well, how do there, chums? So, chums, I have just watched the Future Games show for spring. I also watched some of GDC Live. I watched something about robots. But anyway, what I want to cover off is the Future Games show in spring, which is pretty darn freaking crazy stuff. So let's jump on over and I'll show you the two games that I like the look of the most. Righto, so let's hit on up this one first. This one is called Hawthorn. Now, what I like about Hawthorn is just how whimsical it looks. So you can take control of certain creatures, and it's a case of just crafting and creating your own sort of place in the world, but you're playing as whimsical little creatures, making whimsical little homes in whimsical little places. Yeah, this game is very whimsical. Okay, and this one I'm going to be putting on my radar. Am I seriously thinking about purchasing a Kate in it? I think it depends on price point. I think that's what it depends on mostly, and just how sort of integrated it is with multiplayer. If this is just a single player affair, I'm probably not going to be overly too interested in picking it up. Because it's a case of creating your own place, it'd be nice if you could invite people to come and have a look at it with you. But a lot of the actual footage that I've seen in this looks like it is just single player interacting with NPCs. But I could be wrong. I mean, I do like, that's nice, flying on the owl and things like that and doing a spot of fishing. It does look quite relaxing, so even if it hasn't got the multiplayer aspect, I might still even pick it up. Like I say, depending on price point. The music sounds okay. The graphics look like they've been done in Unreal Engine 4, and they've got that muddied feel to them that Unreal brings to the table. So I don't know. It just depends. It depends. That one is on my radar, but it's not one that I'm overly shouting from the rooftops on and saying, you know, you guys need to put this on yours. It's going to be hit and miss for a lot of people, I think. This one is called Kingmakers. Now, this one I think is really cool. In fact, what I'm going to do is make myself a little bit smaller on screen, up the actual sound on this one, and I'm going to hit play and just chime in every now and again.
Hello, I'm Ian Fish from Redemption Road Games, makers of Road Redemption and the upcoming Kingmakers. In Kingmakers, you travel back to the year 1401 to help the real-life Welsh rebel Owain Glendower conquer England. In reality, his Welsh rebellion was defeated and he mysteriously disappeared. So in 1401 England, you'll use modern weapons to help the outnumbered Welsh defeat English armies made up of thousands of soldiers. And everything in Kingmakers is real. The thousands of soldiers are all simulated. Furthermore, all buildings are fully navigable and fully destructible.
That's insane. That looks awesome.
Thousands of soldiers can navigate complex multi-story castles with the same level of pathfinding fidelity you'd expect from a modern first-person shooter. Originally, we thought Kingmakers was going to be a cool simulation of what it would be like to go back in time with modern weapons. Would you be able to defeat a medieval army with an AK-47? Then we realized that if we're going to do this, we got to do it right. Medieval battles involve thousands of soldiers, so we're going to simulate thousands of soldiers. And this isn't like Dynasty Warriors, where soldiers kind of spawn into existence as you approach them. In Kingmakers, they're always there, running their AI all the time. Furthermore, we realized that a game with this scope, the player would want to be able to command his armies and fortify his own outposts, so it kind of grew for there.
That's
it's now something
insane.
completely unique. A shooter with real-time strategy elements that rival Age of Empires, and shooting gameplay that rivals Helldivers and Space Marine. Today we're excited to share a little bit more about the destruction aspect of the game.
Straight through the building. Why not?
Every building, castle, wall, and tree in Kingmakers is fully destructible. You can blow it up with a grenade launcher, take it out with an airstrike, or maybe even demolish it with a tank.
No, just reversing through it as well.
And none of the destruction is scripted either. It's all dynamic, courtesy of Unreal 4's fast physics calculations.
Unreal 4.
It's one of the reasons we didn't switch to Unreal 5. We experimented with Unreal 5.1 and Unreal 5.3, but nothing has been as fast on the CPU side as Unreal 4 when it comes to physics. Finally, we're excited to share that you and up to 3 friends can lead their own armies alongside yours and join in on your conquest of England in online co-op. This is the full campaign, full online co-op, no compromises. This means 4 players fielding armies of thousands, building their own fortifications and buildings, and attacking enemy bases either on their own side of the map or alongside you. We really wanted to make sure that all 4 players feel just as responsive to play as if they were all playing a single player game or as if they were each playing as the host player, even if your ping is not great. Kingmakers is coming to PC Early Access and hopefully to all major consoles. We'll have more to share about the game later in 2025. In the meantime, please wishlist Kingmakers on Steam. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of the show.
At the end there, it looked like he went into the future for a bit, didn't it? Which was pretty darn cool. So anyway, this looks really great. This reminds me of Army of Darkness when Ash goes back in time. He's like, this is my boomstick. And he's calling everybody primitives and stuff. I really could get into a little bit of role play inside of this in a similar sort of fashion, I reckon. This one's definitely going on my wish list. Kingsmaker definitely looks like it's doing something new. I mean, they're not using Unreal Engine 4 or 5, sorry. Which is an interesting one, because it says that it's easier on the CPU. I would have thought with Nanite and everything else that the latest version has to offer, it would have run even smoother. But then, you know, we have seen what Unreal Engine games have done to certain games over the last year or so. So I find this kind of refreshing. And I'm very excited for this one. Very excited for this one. I think this one could end up being Game of the Year. Could it be something that I bring to my channel often? I don't know. Is it my normal style? Sound off in the comments. If I brought this to my channel, is it something that you would like to see? Is it something that you think that you would like to play? Until next time, people, goodbye, and goodbye again.